The UFC lightweight division is in a bit of a low point at the moment. Let's talk about it. When we examine most of the other divisions in the UFC, there is a good mix of elite prospects on the come up and the seasoned veterans who have entertained fans for years. This is a sign of a healthy division. We'd need both types of fighters ideally in the top 15 in order to make fights interesting. Let's take a look at the middleweight division, for example. We have the veterans, Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, Michael Venom Page. We also have the newer fighters that show insane promise like Khamzat Chimaev and Imanov, who have started to beat these veterans and they will carry the middleweight torch for their organization. The likes of Khamzat and Imanov look better than the middleweights that have come before, and we need this incremental evolution to make things interesting. Going back to the lightweight division, there's not really any promising young fighters that appear to be levels above who came before. Sure, we have Benoit Saint Denis, Paddy the Baddy, and Arman Tsarukyan, but these guys are struggling to beat the previous generation of lightweights, and it's a little underwhelming. The lightweight division is basically the same as it was a few years ago. We have the same names competing at around the same rankings. Poirier, Gaethje, Hooker, Charlie Olives. Now I love watching these guys fight. They are incredibly entertaining and it will be a true end of an era when they all retire. Oh, and no doubt there's definitely some exciting matchups to make still with the previous generation of 155ers. I can't wait for Dan Hooker vs Justin Gaethje, for instance. I'm not blaming the veterans for the lightweight division being boring, there's just not enough exciting fighters on the way up that look like they're an evolution beyond. This brings me to Islam Makhachev and his future in the UFC. There's been talk for the last month or so about his next opponent, and if he should fight another lightweight, if he should move up and fight Belal for double champ status, or wait for Ilia Topuria to bulk to 155 and set up a UFC SUPERFIGHT. Let's discuss each path one by one. The prospect of an Islam vs Ilia fight is fun, but I just can't shake the feeling that Topuria hasn't had enough title defenses in his own weight class to justify going for the lightweight belts. I like the idea of a fighter being a dominant champion first in their own weight class and clearing out a whole division before moving up and daring to be great. I mean, Volk had 4 title defenses before fighting Islam the first time, and even before Volk became featherweight champion, he beat a legend in Jose Aldo and was practically undefeated. Volk solidified his legacy at 145 before challenging Islam. Same goes with Izzy. He beat every guy put in front of him at middleweight, and then he fought for the light heavyweight title. I hear so much talk about champions wanting to go up and become double champ after 1 or less title defenses, and it's getting a little nauseating. Even though Topuria had iconic back-to-back wins over Volk and Max Holloway, I mean, nobody has done anything close to that. I just feel like there's more challenges to fight before going up to battle Islam. Plus, I doubt Islam is eager to fight another featherweight anytime soon. He probably wants to either fight natural 155 contenders or go up himself. Option 2 for Islam is just going through more contenders and defending his belt a few more times. Is there anyone I'd like to see Islam fight at lightweights? Maybe Arman if he doesn't get injured again, or Charles Oliveira if he can win his next fight. Maybe. Islam has gone through a lot of contenders already, and honestly, if he were to move up to welterweight, I wouldn't entirely blame him. If Islam moves up to 170, that would be the most exciting move of his career. He's already a pretty big lightweight, so while he wouldn't look out of place at 170, he wouldn't have the automatic size advantage, which would be super interesting to see play out. Islam versus the winner of Belal and Shavkat would be super fun to see, or even Islam against a top contender like JDM or something. We would really see what Islam is made of at welterweight and would inherently raise the stakes. If Islam successfully makes his 5th title defense at 155, moving up would be the most likely option and would make both divisions more intriguing. The lightweight division having a vacant title would be crazy. I imagine the belt would swap hands a lot, and every title fight would be that much more engaging. No offense to the other 155ers, but with Islam as the champion at the moment, he's just on another level and quite frankly looks unbeatable at that weight. So my interest in lightweight title fights has kinda dropped recently. Anyway, Islam vs Belal or Shavkat. Book it. Let me know your thoughts on the state of the lightweight division, and I'll catch you down the road.